So here's another trick that you can do. I just sort of did it on the arms. This is an Eastern brush trick. Do you want to see this trick? Eastern brush. We load up the brush with water, fill up the tip with dark, and we've got a natural gradient inside the brush now. So if you do a broad stroke, go sideways across the bristles, see you get this beautiful gradient. You see that? Just by loading up your brush in a gradient. You have to keep washing your brush, picking up again, and see if you can get a gradient that flows down. The gradient, so it's dark on one side, pale on the other side. So you can do that on the little hands and the arms. Load up your brush so it's a gradient and get a nice bit of dark underneath her arms. So it ends up looking quite 3D. Alright, let's look at one of these petals. Now, you don't actually need to mix a range of tones if you've got the ability to mix tones on with your brush. Here's what we're going to do. We take this dark tone. I'll practice it on the palette for you to show you how it works. You've got a sword stroke of dark down the edge of the petal. Maybe it's a little bit wider than that. Then you've got to clean your brush thoroughly on your paper towel. A lot of the time with oil, you can get away with doing a dry clean. You don't need to keep washing your brush. But in this case, we want to go pure white. Because in some of these petals, it comes almost to pure white. Oh, yeah. And some of them, it's sort of a half tone. So you might want to choose one of these other colours. Anyway, this is what you do. You take your white and you lay it in alongside. So you've got two separate areas. I'll show you with this pale tone so you can actually see it on the palette. So you can see there's a dark area and a light area. I dry clean my brush just by dusting it off thoroughly on the paper towel. Now what I'm going to do is, my flat brush here, I need to put 1 foot in the dark purple paddock and 1 foot in the pale purple paddock. Imagine 2 paddocks alongside and there's a fence line running down. It's actually, turns out it's a curved fence. This join line between the two is a fence. So you get your 2 little feet on your brush and you put 1 foot either side of the fence and you run your brush along, back and forth. If you do that enough times, you end up getting a beautiful gradient. Look at that. But the trick is to have 1 foot in each paddock. Yeah. And run along the fence line, not across the fence line. The more you just go again and again and again, and look, you get this beautiful gradient. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of this medium because this paint's going to be very dry on a dry, thirsty thing here. So if I take this and I put some pink in here, right? A block of pink. Yep. Hot pink, straight out of the tube. Yep. Can you see how I'm just making it thin? So there's no fat lumps there at all. Yep. When I load up the brush, I only loaded up this part of the brush. Right. When I finish doing it, I wipe it off. Right. So over here, I pick up a bit of pale, like pure white. With that in my brush is fine. Yeah. But it'll become pink a bit like this. Yeah. If I do a blob of white over here, a little bit of medium to help it to flow a bit so it's not so dry and thirsty on this board. And I do 2 separate panels, right? Yeah. So that's step 1. See, it's just digging more pink out of my brush. That's all right. We can deal with that. So 2 flat panels, all of the same colour. Now this is when you got to stop and think about every brush stroke. Right. So I've got tons of pink, pale pink on there, but that's nice and dark. So I dry off my brush. I want to get that dry cleaned. I dry clean my jumper. Dry clean. Now, if I want to blend that into a nice gradient, I do a run stroke, just a normal run stroke with 1 foot either side of the fence line.
You haven't dipped it in anything?
Nothing.
No.
All I'm doing is mixing the colour that's on the board here with the colour that's on the board here. Okay. Just using my brush as a tool. So if you wash it, you get all this liquid in here and it'll start lifting it off. So dry clean is what you do 90% of the time with oil. And so to do a blend of a gradient from one side to the other, you've got to first of all get rid of this hard line here. So you just run a run stroke, normal brush run stroke.
Half and half.
Along the fence line. You're right on the fence line, straddling the fence line.
Yeah.
And you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And look what happens.
Look what happens.
Soft. So you're softening the line, right? Then what you can do is you can start moving from this fence line across. See, I've got colour in there. But it's okay. It's in the middle colour, so I don't need to worry too much. But if I start taking this colour here and I push it, I go shunt along to the side a little bit. So I'm on the fence line now. If I go slightly to the left, I shift my brush strokes just to the left a little bit. It starts pulling the white in.
Yes.
Doesn't it? But look what happens. This is Bristle Zen. You know that you've got lots of dark paint on your brush now. So if you were to take that over into here, look what happens. Terrible. So you wipe it off. Then you start from the fence line and you start taking this colour over to the right here. And see, it gets slightly darker. Just slightly darker.
It just looks lovely and blend, doesn't it?
The thinner you keep it, the easier gradients are. Now I know I've got tons of pink on here. I've got to dry it off. Can you see I'm corralling my brush strokes to just this zone either side of the fence line. I'm not touching that and I'm not touching that.
No.
Don't go anywhere near the two extremes. Just work in the middle railway in here. And so if I start on this one, I go to the left a bit. And that pulls the white a little bit more to the left.
Yeah.
But I don't go anywhere near the far end. If I come back again, gently pull the dark, because I know I've got dark on my brush now. I pull the dark into the light. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
It's darker there now. But now I know I've got light on here. So if I go back again, I'll be bringing light up into the dark again. And eventually you get so you can't see where it starts and stops. We're practicing a little bit of gradients. You know, you could practice your gradient. I can help you with that. While other people, Sharon, I can help you with that here. While other people are keeping on going, I'll mix up some fresh wet paint of my dark colour. So you can try this on a spare bit of paper. And you lay down your dark colour in a patch somewhere like this. Make sure it's still wet. So here, I've mixed up my dark colour. Wash and dry my brush as quickly as I can. Get back into my pale colour, which is yellow ochre and a touch of white. Right?
So what was the red colour?
Sorry.
Umber and burnt sienna?
Burnt sienna and yellow ochre is the dark colour. Then I put down this wet patch here. So hopefully we've got two patches of wet paint. If this one's drying already, you've got to go in and put more paint on it. If that original one is dry, put more paint on it. That means dry brush, grab some more paint, slap it on. Before you do your blending, you've got to have two wet patches of paint. So I've got two wet patches of paint there, nice and shiny, right? Dry clean your brush. Just dry clean, nothing else, no more paint on it. Then you stroke across this fence line. Go in a bit, go out a bit, go in a bit, go out a bit, and stop. The only difference with what we're doing on the muzzle is we've got a circular round patch of dark. Instead of being a straight line for gradient, it's a round line. Then we go, I wash and dry my brush, pick up my lovely pail, and I put the pail all the way around the outside. Anyone else having trouble with gradients? Watch this for a second. Put the pale colour all the way around here for the outside of the gradient. I'm not touching the two zones yet. And then dry clean the brush, and I just scrape over the fence line. Go in a bit, out a bit, in a bit, out a bit, in a bit, out a bit. See, I'm rotating around.
Oh, yeah.
But remember, you've got to corral your brush strokes. In a bit, out a bit, in a bit, out a bit. Corral your brush strokes. Don't cover the whole area. That's just, both patches have to be equally wet. And then